Welcome to another episode of Aberrant, Project Utopia. This podcast is rated MA. I'm Kirk, and I'm the Game Master for Aberrant.
I am Andrew. I'm playing Connor Blood, Nova name Zeus.
I'm Mary, and I'm playing Beth King, who hasn't really decided on a name yet.
That's fine. So I guess we'll go into what each of your characters look like and what your powers are, so that way the people at home kind of, can figure out what's going on, because we kind of blew through everything the last time, and without editing and everything, it's a little rough. So I guess we'll start with Zeus.
Okay. So a little bit of backstory. Zeus came from either a lower upper class, upper middle, somewhere in that, his parents, they each came from money and had like business backgrounds and all of that. And they, even from a very young age, they would, Connor had an agent and they would cast him in like commercials, and they tried to get him on Disney or Nickelodeon, never really got out onto those larger stages. But he did land, several commercials here and there. And spent way more time with help than his actual parents. Like his agent, let's call him Marcus Tinch, was far more of a father figure to him than his actual father was. But even then, it was very clear that there was the distance, because Connor was still how Marcus was making his money. And so Connor's always just had this use of people using him for their own gains. And while he resents it, it's also his comfortable place. And which is what ended up making him drawn to the Project Utopia, because they are absolutely using Aberrants for their gain. But at the same point in time, he does have a rebellious streak within him. And even then, when he was like a kid, like he would actively bomb auditions that he should have otherwise nailed, just because he was pissed off at his parents. And that has absolutely carried over into his allegiance within the actual Aberrant organization. And he very much keeps it on the down low, but like he doesn't trust anyone who's not an Aberrant. He doesn't trust anyone who's benefiting from Aberrants.
Okay. So his allegiance is to Aberrants?
It is. Okay. But again, that's something that he keeps to himself. And since he's, I keep wanting to say exalted, but ever since he's erupted, he's kind of had a little bit of a shift in personality, where when he's in the Zeus form, he swells up, the air around him ionizes, his hair starts to stand a little bit on end. And that's when he takes on the Zeus persona. This is the brand that he's always talking about having to protect, which is a very like PG-13 level of brand, you can, it's the fun movie you can go take your kids to, but he still swears. This is why like he actively, it's like, yeah, he'll drink and he'll cuss, but like he won't smoke, he won't do any other drugs, he won't engage in sexual activities, because that's more than PG-13. Where when he powers down, and everything kind of like flops down around him, like he even like shrinks a little bit. I would say like it's like going from like a size large shirt to a size XXL. It's in terms of like growth when he powers up, powers down. When he's in that downside, that's when he's more and more of his of the actual like Aberrant, the rebel, I don't give a shit, this is where we're going. Okay. And that side has also started to like develop this little bit of paranoia. That is just because what he's done is he's allowed himself to have all those negative thoughts and emotions in this, oh yeah, I look like Zeus, but I'm not Zeus.
Right.
Like I'm Zeus's, shitty little forgotten brother.
So what is he wearing when he's Zeus?
So when
does he have ooh fiber?
He does not.
Okay.
And that's mostly because like he doesn't like when he shoots out his lightning and everything, it comes off of his hands, skin, mouth. He's got pretty good control over that, or he'll like pull it from the the atmosphere around him. But like when he's wearing as Zeus, like it'll be suits, expensive shirts, tailored pants, things like that. When he's just Connor, I mean, like it's sweatpants and a hoodie, like some of the most comfortable clothes you can imagine, but also it's very baggy, dressed down. Okay. There's definitely that whole, Clark Kent is Superman just because he puts on his glasses. But I mean, like if you've seen like any kind of studies around this, I mean, simply the addition or removal of something as simple as glasses, people are convinced it's a completely different person. And he kind of plays off of that. So he has no cipher. So if anybody really dug in, they could probably figure this out. And I could see in the development of this character, his paranoia side start taking on that and developing like, no, we need a cipher so we can really hide ourselves, so we can really start, shaking things up.
Now he has dormancy of level 3, 2?
2.
Okay. And that really helps separate out the Nova persona and everything. So that's nice. What's his mega abilities?
His mega abilities are mega stamina, where he's got resiliency and regeneration, and then he also has mega strength of 1.
Okay.
He's very powers heavy, not very attribute heavy.
Okay. And what are his quantum powers?
His quantum powers are... Okay, there we are. He has elemental mastery, and all of this is around lightning. I think the game lets you play with more than that, but he just sticks to lightning. He's really good with the lethal blast. He can do a non-lethal blast, but he's really got to focus on it to really pull that back.
He's got 4 dots in that, right?
Yeah, he's got 4 dots in that. He also has Crush, which is like sending out a big EMP pulse from himself that just knocks... or EMP, or even just another kind of magnetic pulse just away from himself. He's got Shield, in which around him or other people he can form a large electronic web. Again, just ionizing the air, which has it makes it much more difficult for things like solid matter to get through.
Now, did you take the extra to extend the shield?
I did not.
Okay.
So I can choose myself, or I can choose somebody else, but it's going to be, but in terms of like getting like a big wall of it out, no.
So I think there's just an extra in that to be able to extend your shield to someone else.
Right. And also with elemental mastery, I can do anything that's underneath it. It just costs more and it's harder rolls.
Right. Actually, for every dot you have in it, you get to pick one of those and you get to do it.
Right.
If you don't have it in the dot, then that's when it doubles the cost.
Right. And like I said, these are the things that I got the dots in that I've listed off that I can do. So I can, like, just throwing up a shield. Okay.
Right.
Oh, I would need to cover more things. Strain.
Right.
Oh, you need me to zap a guy? Bam. Oh, I need to not kill him? Okay, let's hold that back. And the last thing he has, which is just calling down a lightning storm. This is just more or less him and his element exploding. The next
quantum
power he has is flight, which is just a 1. And with this one, it's, again, he's just ionizing the air to lift him and himself up and around, move it. He'll do the static shock, slide along electrical lines and things like that, moving throughout the currents. After that, he has invulnerability physical. This ties more back over into his regeneration and his resiliency. And it just means, it's that whole hardier to hit kind of thing. Then he has energy absorption. He has absorption energy. So if he gets hit with any kind of energy, he's able to turn that into strength. And that ties back primarily because he's constantly being struck by lightning and constantly has energy flowing through him and conducting it.
Now, flight should have been one of the ones under elemental mastery, correct?
There is a version of it under elemental mastery, but it is different than true flight.
Right.
He also has true flight.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
It's one of those, like, if I was to use flight and lightning, I would basically be creating small explosions behind myself in order to fly, versus this is...
Yeah.
This is more Magneto.
Yeah, I was just thinking for dice rolls, if you put that extra dot from flight into the fifth dot, your elemental mastery would be more potent.
It would.
It's up to you.
And this is more of a... I liked this version of flight a little bit more.
Lot more potent, a lot faster.
And it wasn't so much for like the potency or anything, but it was actually just to keep elemental mastery from getting too insanely strong, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god,
because that'd be the only thing left you haven't taken out of that would be the flight, right?
No, there's several. If you look in the player's handbook.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because like there's basic blast, lethal blast. Those are two different ones.
Okay.
Then, like you said, there's crush, there's shield, there's storm, there's like ball. There's like 7 or 8 powers in the core.
Okay.
And then there was the other guide that you showed, I think it was this player's guide.
Yeah.
And it had like 3 or 4 more in addition to that.
It was elemental mastery, right?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
And like I said, he's not a fast flyer by any means. He just can. And also, it's because he'd have to use the element in order to fly the other way. It's kind of damaging to himself and the people around him. Where this way, again, with this level of flight, I can Superman it with Lois Lane and not, tase her.
Right. Right. That's funny. All right. And you have no taint. What are your backgrounds again? You have...
I have a note of 2.
Okay.
I have dormant of 2. And I have resource of 3.
Okay.
And...
Willpower 4.
What's up?
Willpower's 4, looks like.
Yeah, willpower's 4. Quantum is 5. Quantum pool is 34.
Okay.
Everything went into quantum for this character.
Yeah. Okay. Parents still alive?
Yes, they are still alive. They are still absolutely, they because back in the previous episode where he had mentioned, it's so brave of you to do your marketing on your own. Before he got picked up by Project Utopia, his parents did a lot of that. His dad was cutting deals with like a toy company, to make small little Zeus toys, and his mom was getting him his headshots and everything like that.
Okay. All right. So his basic strength is 3.
Yep.
Dexterity is 4. Stamina is 3.
Yes. And all of his mental attributes are 2, and he's got appearance of 3, manipulation of 3, and charisma of 2.
Okay. All right. Mary?
All right. So Beth is very much new to the Powers game. She does not have, say, a brand or anything. She was only child, lived with her parents for a long. She's in her late teens, so she's still like, she kind of gave up on trying to go to school or whatever. Got a job at a record shop just to have some extra money, and she basically was in a life of taking care of her parents, who were extreme hoarders.
Okay.
Like the kind of people who cannot leave their house, and also their house should have been condemned because it's so full of trash and stuff that, like,
that's right.
So she she resents a lot of those things about her parents, but she still, she can't just abandon them. So her actual eruption happened one night when some pile of trash or other in the house caught on fire. she managed to get her parents out, but realized in the process that fire was her element and encouraged the house to burn to ashes to try to give her parents a freedom from the things that they had been trapped in for years. They still kind of regret the loss of the house, but she feels better about herself and everything else. She was always kind of shy and and nice and overweight, and a lot of those traits kind of, well, when she erupted, the Nova thing where a lot of things get burned, and she now looks like a superhero, like she never thought she would. She's skinny and pretty and stronger than she thought she was. And so a lot of her natural charisma, which she would hide because she didn't want to make friends with anybody, she couldn't invite them back home, she was embarrassed by her parents. She now doesn't have anything to hide behind, and it's a new world kind of for her. She's exploring still. Most of her PowerPoints got put into attributes. She literally, her only quantum powers are light herself on fire and light other things on fire.
Okay. Immolate
and quantum bolt, which is fire. She mostly spends her time in blue jeans. She still hasn't quite figured out how to dress like a skinny girl. Oversized t-shirts with metal bands on them and blue jeans and Doc Martens. But yeah, so she's got 3 mega attributes: dexterity, stamina, and appearance.
Okay.
And being pretty and likable is something that she's really excited about because it's new and fun. Mm-hmm. But she's got, and she does have attunement so that her clothes do not burn up.
Nice.
And 2 points so she can also have a backpack or something with her too.
Okay.
But yeah, because her defensive power is to light herself on fire.
Okay. And
burn anything that she touches. So yeah, she's cat-footed in terms of mega dexterity. She's got 2 points in that.
Okay.
Stamina, she's got 2 points in that. Resiliency, and the appearance thing we found out last time. First impressions, very useful.
Yes.
She can just seem like the kind of person you want for whatever you're looking for. She's got decent strength and physical stuff. She's got 3 points in strength, regular 4 in dex and 4 in stamina. And 3 points down the board for all the mental attributes. And then her charisma is 5, her appearance is 4, and her manipulation is only 2. More used to being shy than actively trying to lie to people. So, yeah, I mean, and like I said, her only quantum powers are she's got 3 dots in Immolate. It is fire. It is real fire. It is lethal damage.
Okay.
And 3 dots in Quantum Bolt, which does have the added jet spray feature, so she can flamethrower instead of just throw balls of fire. And again, it's real fire. It's lethal. She can't turn that off.
Okay.
She only has 2 dots in Taint, which isn't enough to do anything. 3 points in Quantum.
Okay.
And a willpower of 7.
Now her Quantum Bolt, does she use it as? Does she use the bashing version, or does it?
No, it's all lethal.
Okay.
It is all fire.
So do you have to choose on that?
You do.
Remember. Okay.
You do have to pick lethal, bashing, and because it'll do different amounts of damage.
That's right.
And what it is. So it may be something that she can work to control later on to try to be less of a literally burn things to death. But for now, that's what she's working with. She's got a dot in node, 1 dot in resources. She is one of the Novas who ended up going to a Utopia Rashid facility and took a lot, is very much with Project Utopia right now because they are helping her because she has powers that are very deadly to people around her. She wants to control them, and they're helping her with that. And she has no suspicions, no anything else. She's right now a full member of Project Utopia. I did give her 2 dots in mentor, which I hadn't really put a lot of character into, but I figured that would be somebody from the facility, somebody helping her train and control her powers.
That will probably wind up being Ramirez.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And she does have a dot in dormancy, which is usually how she spends her time because it's just safer for now until she gains more confidence in.
Okay.
In
What's
what
her
she
other
can do.
backgrounds she has?
Backgrounds: attunement, node, resources, mentor. She's got 1 dot in resources.
Okay.
That's it.
Sounds good. And her quantum is?
Quantum is 3.
3. Okay.
And I don't have the number for her pool written down. It's in dots.
Okay. And you do have 2 taint?
She does have 2 chain, yes.
Okay.
Which, again, is below the threshold for anything happening. But
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Last time on Aberrant, the group went to Ibiza, was invited to Ibiza, and had a time in Club Twist, which was a Nova-only club, and got to meet a few people that night. Got to see some celebrities, Raul Ortiz, the Playboy athlete, Terrigen member, Alondra, she was performing for everyone, Skew, Team Tomorrow's Gravity Loose Cannon, and a guy by the name of the Bouncer. They also wound up meeting Kira Zarkova, whose nickname is Voss, Eden Kazoo, who is Slicer, Eric Isaacs, Blitz, and later on met Chrome Samurai. And found out that this group called the Crew wanted to break into a place to steal some items, some valuables, and you guys sort of agreed to that. So the next day you met with Hector Ramirez in the Paris Richaud facility, and he basically told you guys he could pay you to stake out a house that was was probably going to be hit by something. They weren't quite sure, but it was for the Prime Minister of Germany. And you weren't really to enter the property unless a lethal force was necessary, but you were just to grab intel on whoever this group was that was targeting the place. Later on, you guys met back with the Crew in Frankfurt and found out that you were going to, the job was on the same house. So, Chrome Samurai was downtown setting up for the run, and I believe he had all of your personal belongings that you guys had stored at the airport, at the hotel, moved to their hotel, where everyone would be staying the night before getting up and doing the job in the morning. What else? They found out the guy was leaving in the morning, and there was a hefty vault installed about a year ago. A lot of his assets from local banks were pulled: gold bullion, bearer bonds, corporate patents, and several hard drives with some sort of digital money on them. And that was kind of where we ended. I can't remember anything else that really happened out of the blue.
I know we agreed to do the job, which I think you just said. Sorry, I was doing some math.
That's all right.
I remember we had also set it up to where he was going to put it on like I was a loop that like me and my powered up form was somewhere else.
Right. He was going to spoof you somewhere else. What was going to happen was... Oh, and someone was paying them $2.5 million for the hard drives.
Right, that's what I was going to add.
And
Is
everything
that
was being
what they're
split.
really looking for? Like we get, or anything else we find, we get, but
Right.
they're being paid to find the hard drives. And we
Right.
did sort of figure out that we did ask whether what was on the hard drives was something that we're specifically looking forward for, say, blackmail information, because that was on the list of things that we were specifically supposed to prevent.
Right.
But they decided it was mostly basically untraceable cash, and that's what they wanted them for.
Yeah,
Right.
it sounded like
Patents, maybe there was something...
or Bitcoin,
Blueprints,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, at the time, no one knows what Bitcoin is.
But digital currency is starting to emerge.
Yeah.
So,
What else was going on?
because it is 2008.
Yeah.
When was Bitcoin?
I guess a little rundown on Voss. Because you guys talked, I don't know if this all came out in the nightly meeting. Maybe we skipped to the end too quick. Voss was a former girlfriend of a mafia boss. She was kidnapped by a rival gang. She erupted after she was beaten and left for dead by the mafia. Her boyfriend wouldn't take her back. She misses the nice life, and so this is why she's going after the cash. Slicer is a party boy, was at a rave when he began emitting plasma. His family disowned him, and he wants money for oof fiber. Pretty basic. Blitz was a former college player, signed on with St. Louis Rams. He was out celebrating when he and his boyfriend were in a car accident because they were drinking. He erupted and survived. His boyfriend didn't. He needs money for U-Fiber. And Chrome Samurai erupted during a video game competition. He lost. It was the last time, and he needs a newer cash for a newer rig, the Cell Z2000 processor prototype, which is still 2 years out, but he wants to be able to get his hands on a copy of it or something like that.
So, fun fact, Bitcoin became available for public trade January 3rd, 2009.
Nice.
So
it's ahead of its time. I mean, it's there. And with the eruptions happening for 10 years and people doing digital manipulation, I'm sure it's jumped that forward a little bit.
right. So yeah. So our thought, but what I'm just saying is like our thoughts of like this could potentially be Bitcoin is
Yeah. Future Bitcoin. All right. I'm trying to go over the notes just in case there's something else I forgot.
I feel like we've got enough. If there's some, I don't think there's going to be anything major in the sense of like, oh my god, I should have known that. This ruins the game for me.
Right. So after the dinner, you guys go outside and there's a small van waiting, like something from an airport, and you guys all climb in and it takes you to the accommodations, and you guys get out. They go upstairs, and it's a pretty nice suite. Several beds. I think there's 2 bedrooms and a couch and some other stuff going on. So there's plenty of places to crash if you need to. And the bedrooms are as a normal hotel room would look for us nowadays. So it's got a bed, probably like a small sleeper sofa in there, its own bathroom. It's a huge penthouse sort of thing. So that's it. Anything you guys want to do before you go to bed? Your bags are there when you get there, sitting inside the door.
Oh, and we were going to be provided with like dark clothing.
Yes.
I think.
Yes. My tactical my
Yes.
tactical turtleneck.
Yes.
I'll be getting that.
'Cause I was-
Yeah, that was the other thing. It was like body armor because I was going to totally be wearing my super suit because I have one, which would be whatever like the basic body
Right.
armor rating is.
And I think that's pretty. Let's see. That's not it.
Just like reinforced clothing, just real minimal.
Let's find out what page 277.
How do you just not know this?
Yeah. I don't have a screen for this. Reinforced clothing is bashing 0, lethal 2. Armored t-shirt is bashing 2, lethal 1. Kevlar vest, bashing 2, lethal 3. Flak jacket, full riot gear, bomb squad, advanced body armor.
Okay.
Advanced body armor is 6/6.
What was just reinforced clothing?
0 bashing, 2 lethal.
Okay.
And that's full body.
Yeah.
Riot gear is the next one, and that'll start incurring penalties on dexterity.
Yeah, no, it's just reinforced.
Reinforced clothing.
I was going to put super suit and then parentheses reinforced clothing.
Not parentheses, where is my?
No, because I know where it is.
Bash 0, lethal 2, no penalty, can't be concealed because it goes over everything. Cost is 2. Destruction is 8. Does it have that on there? Yeah. So if you take double that in one shot, it'll be destroyed. All right.
Okay.
And your clothing and everything's there when you get there. He found your sizes somehow. And
yeah, it's one of those, like, I'm walking around in this suit and I've got like the black turtleneck over it, but I'm very obviously wearing something underneath.
Yep.
This is kind of the way I see this.
No logos on anything. Even the shoes, the black shoes, may have been Nikes at one time, but looks like someone has
They've gone with a marker and just filled in the white swoosh.
And if there was something on the bottom, that's been filed down to nothing. So, All right.
My only other question, and this doesn't impact the game right here, right now, is between sessions, how many dots are we limited in going up in something?
What do you mean?
So, like, one of the things that I've actually said that, because I said I was as at the very beginning of this interested in, it was possibly getting into a cipher. That's what I was doing the math on.
Okay.
Like, how much cipher could I go up by? And so I was like, because it's a background.
Yeah, backgrounds do not have a purchasable thing in this, I believe.
Yeah, it's 2 for a new, and it's 2 times rating
they do?
to increase.
Nice. So that is even better. It's easier. 139.
And like I said, I'm not buying it right now. If it's what we want to wait for
That's all right.
later, just
Well, Chrome Samurai would be the person to do it.
that's kind of what I was thinking. Is like, hey, if you're bored,
been
got some time.
Task relating, okay. Yeah, this is the only White Wolf game where they let you purchase backgrounds, I believe.
Which is amazing because you should be able to for so many of these things.
Well, most of it's supposed to be a gimme for, if you work on it, you should get it automatically, and that would be probably 1 point at a time until it gets probably 1 point a month while they're ciphering and removing things. But I don't believe 24. There aren't any limits, are there? Training.
Because when I look at training, it looked at abilities, powers. And this is basically me going up to Chrome Samurai and like, hey, deep scrub me.
Right. Increasing abilities, no powers, development and backgrounds. It does not say that I'm seeing. So if you want to increase it, story count, introduce new contact, likewise, what's the race? Through roleplay, then cost experience points to raise. Okay, that's fine. New rating is intrinsic. They're made permanent by spending experience points. Yeah. So if he does a deep scrub, it should just be a one-time him going through and doing it. And then it should remain permanent in case, unless something happens.
Right. Well, I'm looking just like, because just dropping essentially 8 points at it, which would make it go from 0 to 3.
Right.
And then just like, this one was like, hey.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ask him to do that while we're doing this. And
he's set up in one of the suites, bathrooms, which is huge. But he's got like, I don't want to say he's got like tinfoil on around on the wall and on the ceiling of the bathroom, on the shower curtains and stuff, and he's sitting inside with several laptops propped up, and he's doing different things. Yeah, man, I could do that. I could scrub you. How about we'll do it for 5% of whatever you take out.
sounds good.
Okay. All right. He pulls up some information. You see your bios start popping up on a couple screens. He's like, "Oh yeah, this will be good. I can do most of this. I can separate out Zeus from who you were. Eventually lead out a trail on him. Yeah, no problem. All right." He says, "I'll work a little bit on this now, but we'll do it more after the heist. I'll go into deep scrub but I'll start setting up some stuff to roll back some of your footprints that you're doing right now. And then I'll be able to spoof you somewhere else. We'll just throw a video feed of you up somewhere. I'll splice it together real quick, and
Yeah.
it's all good.
And that's things like he's going to be going and doing this in the Connor persona.
Okay.
When he has to, if for whatever reason I have to Hulk out and use a power, then I got to flip.
Right. All right.
I'm more or less the gig is up beacon.
All right. So everyone starts heading to bed. Pretty quiet night. Pretty quiet in the suite. Morning comes and the phone rings and someone picks it up and they start moving around, getting in the shower. Eventually people start coming out, waking other people up and packing bags and everything. And everyone's kind of a buzz. It's kind of electric in the suite. People start waking up. And about the time everyone's sort of done showering, a big rolling tray of food comes in. And I mean, it's huge.
Yay.
Yeah. All kinds of scrambled eggs, pancakes, waffles, everything. And a second tray comes in, and it is like a self-serve small buffet thing where you can make your own waffles and omelets and things like that. So they bring some stuff up ready to go and some other supplies if you want to make your own. Fresh squeezed juice, the whole works, fresh fruit.
I'm making like a waffle tower.
Cereal, all kinds of stuff. And the person doesn't stay. They just kind of nod and back out, and they give them a tip, and they go on their way. So everyone kind of digs in, tears the cart apart. There's not much left when everyone's done eating. Blitz eats his weight pretty much in pancakes. So
Sticking to mostly fruits and juices.
Go. No, waffle tower.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, you've got the waffle. That's what I'm saying. Zeus is just.
tower.
He's even though he's not in the Zeus persona, like he still like just seems to prefer that food. he still makes like one of the most like pathetic looking breakfast burritos. Where it's got like some eggs, cheese, and peppers inside of it, which sounds great, but then like by comparison to like where everyone else is doing like the waffle tower or the pile of bacon, it's just like
yeah, Blitz is making his own burrito out of a huge pancake with everything in it, sausages and bacon, rolling it up and eating it. All right, you guys finish up. Chrome Samurai says, I'm staying here, monitoring everything. I'll be turning off video feeds as I see you approaching GPS-wise, and I'll be looping them while you're in its line of sight. But once you pass out, I will turn the camera back on so there's no weird stuff happening by not seeing a bird come by or whatever. So, and once you guys get inside, I'll disable the laser grid while you're in the whole building. So that'll be that. You guys are all given a small diagram of the house, and the vault is in the floor of the den next to the pool. There's like a long pool pointing right at it.
Oh, okay, I see the pool. Yep. Oh, I see the den. Okay. Yep. And we are coming in.
You'll be coming in from the west.
So we'd be coming in near like the...
Pretty much right onto the whole building.
Yeah, so it's like if we're coming in from the west, we're coming basically onto that building.
You'll be coming in, from the side.
Okay.
Because this is the layout, and basically the sheet just matches up.
Okay.
So, you guys, I think he's wanting to park out here and have you guys walk across, because this is the guardhouse down by the main road and everything.
Okay.
And a fence, there's a large fence all around the area. All right.
Oh.
Huge house.
So many, like individually labeled pools.
Yeah. It's a very spacious, open layout where there's like several small buildings that might have an adjoining roof over most of them. It's very modern. Brand spanking new.
Okay.
All right, so you guys all head the van, get in. I don't know who'd be driving. I should look that up. Probably Voss will be driving since she's kind of the ad hoc leader. Yeah. So she gets in, starts it up, makes sure everyone's buckled in.
That's a good question.
The windows are slightly tinted, but she's like, don't fuck around while we're heading out because we don't want to draw attention to ourselves. And that's it. You guys head out. It's a small drive through Frankfurt. It's a pretty nice city. Get out north and it's very country pretty fast. And they take a small country road heading north. They don't even go near the security gates in the front of the property. And they get to the end and turn left or right and head up a little bit. There's kind of trees around. This used to be farmland, so they have a lot of windbreaks at the edge of the property along the road of just rows of trees. And so they pull off on the opposite side of the road, kind of behind some trees and park. Everybody starts getting out. Blitz rips off a couple branches and kind of camouflages the vehicle a little bit so it looks like bushes around it.
I guess when we get to the fence, I offer to...
We're parking like right here.
Yeah, I could literally fly people up and over.
Okay.
I was just checking. It's like flight has no weight limit, so it's whatever my strength is.
Right. I was going to say we're going to do with strength.
Which I have a mega in.
Strength and flight. And it would be versus their stamina and strength for mass, I guess. That's the only I could think of. So most people should be okay. Voss can also fly, and as well as, oh, shoot.
Well, if I've got two...
Cutter. All right.
Slicer?
Slicer.
So if Voss, myself, and Slicer can fly,
Yeah.
then that literally just leaves you and the big guy who
Right.
can't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. And he's huge, so he does have to be carried.
yeah.
Yeah, Blitz.
Yeah, Blitz. So,
All right.
yeah, I vote that the three of us who can fly pick up the two that can't and fly all the way up
Right.
to the...
I believe Slicer can pick you up by himself without having any help. What is your stamina and strength? Strength's 3.
7.
His flight's 2. So him and Voss have to grab you. One takes each hand.
Shit, that means I've got Blitz of my own.
I didn't
My
get lighter.
man.
I just got skinnier. It got denser.
Yeah.
So I've got a flight of 1.
Oh, shit, what is his? Blitz is a big boy, and he's got lots of armor on.
Got a strength and... Well, I've got mega strength of 2.
Right. Mega stamina and stuff for that. The purposes of that don't really count because it's a
Well, it is
extra.
me lifting.
Right. For him, though, he's got 3 strength and 4 stamina, so he's got 7 as well.
Okay. So if it's flight and my mega strength,
Strength and mega strength, yeah.
then it's a 5.
3, 4, 5. Yep. All right. So he is too big to carry for anyone to really carry.
On their own.
So they suggest maybe just before they got to work in tandem.
Whoever's got the fastest flight
Yeah.
sends her and the down, start working on the door. Someone zooms back. We grab him.
Right. I'm going to say they can't really, well, I guess they could leave you up there. They float you up and drop you off, and they fly back, and all 3 of you basically pick up Blitz.
I don't need that much help. I just need one person.
Oh, I guess if Voss will stay up there then, and Slicer will come back and help you. Because he's got a 3, 4, 5 altogether. Yeah, you two can carry him pretty evenly.
Ooh, I've got might.
Oh,
I've got a might of 3.
Is that more for like bending bars and things, I believe?
It's feats of strength.
It's feats of strength,
Yeah.
so.
With flying, it's a little weird.
Okay.
So it's good enough. You guys both grab an arm.
Basically, it's one of those, if I was allowed
Carry
to
him.
use my might, I could carry him on my own. I'd probably be hoofing it like,
Yeah.
why did you eat so much?
It's all right. You guys fly him up at the last, and you hear in your ears, you're all given like small ear things. Chrome Samurai says, okay, I'm turning the cameras back on that side of the building, and the grid's going down in 3, 2. It's done. You guys don't see anything different or hear anything.
I stay floating, even if it's like
Okay.
2 inches above the ground. My feet don't touch the ground.
I think Foss has some larceny.
Intrusion.
Intrusion.
I have 2 dots.
What is it under?
It's intelligence.
Yep, there it is. Okay. So you have 2 dots. What's your
I
total?
have 2.
Your pool?
Total of 5.
Do you have mega intelligence?
I do not.
Okay.
Basically, I know how to work the security system at the record shop where I work.
There you go. Voss comes up and she goes, I got this real quick. And she pulls out some small tools and tinkers with the physical lock, and it clicks, and she opens it up slowly. No marks. It just took her like a quick second. She's got mega intelligence, so she's only got 1. But all right, the door swings open, and you guys are. Let's look at this real quick.
Like, we should be like on the den or in the den, because that's on the outside.
Yes. So I'm assuming you guys are floated up right to here, and then walk around. Well, I guess this is the door that gets opened. So this is what she just opened up.
Okay. So,
Because none of this would be really locked, and it looks like this is all like glass. So it's a nice glass door that you guys walked up to.
okay.
Opens up. On your left is a bathroom and a small, what does it say? Electrical room.
Okay. I vote we just go through the bathroom, because that's only going to have a door, one lock that goes out. The other lock doesn't. No one locks.
Yep.
Yeah, because how bathroom doors work. We've only got one lock to deal with. Then.
Yep. You guys go in, and this is a really nice den. It's almost like a media area. There's couches sitting around a nice small coffee table. Is that it? Yeah, nothing fancy. There is a painting on this wall. Voss walks up to it, and she kind of moves it aside, and behind there is a small wall safe. She starts going to work on it. About this time, Blitz is standing around looking bored while she's doing her thing. And he's looking out across to over here to this master suite, this master bedroom. And he's like, man, that's where it's all at. They got to have stuff in there. Everyone has stuff in their bedroom. And he's kind of doing this like antsy.
Rich people don't keep stuff in their bedroom. Like, I straight up say that to him.
He kind of stops and looks back at you like, what?
Yeah, no. It's a lie. They tell poor people to stuff stuff under their mattress, so that way when they rob them, it's easier.
No, I'm looking at him going, what?
Let's see what Blitz's intelligence is.
Do I need to roll my manipulation?
Intelligence survival, it would actually be...
Or my charisma?
Engineering, nope. Intelligence. Yeah, he doesn't have much of that. Man, that's... You don't know what you're talking about. How would you know?
I'm from a rich family.
I used to rob houses when I was young. That's where you found all the good stuff. It's where ladies keep their jewelry.
In what tax bracket did you rob?
Says we robbed some places. We hit some good places. And he's kind of doing this antsy dance, almost like a pee-pee dance. Voss is like, quiet. I can't hear what's going on. And she's going over the dials again. Eventually, he just says, I'm going to go look for bling. This is how we do it in the hood. He opens up the glass sliding door, which is not locked on the inside.
Okay.
Starts
Not
walking
a
across.
hard hand, but like it is a soft one where I do suggest like, just wait till she gets into that safe. Why risk the big payday for a small one?
He holds up his hands. He goes, "You see these? These need rings."
I don't deny that. In no way have I said. I'm saying, not now. Not don't.
Man, you do what you do. I'll do what I do. I'll be right over here. If you need help, just call me. He's like backing off and doing this like weird football like shuffle, almost like not electric, like mood walk backwards. He's like, "I'll just be a minute. Just be a minute."
I'm
Slicer
going to
walks up to you and puts a hand in, and he goes, "Just let him do what he's going to do.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
going to do it anyway."
Yeah. No. I'm going to now position myself on the outside right here.
Okay.
And in addition to, because he's walking over here,
He's
to go
doing
around.
this moonwalk back this way, away from you.
Yeah. That's fine. It's fine. So like, I'm
Okay.
just like keeping an eye on this area,
Okay.
but most importantly, have vertical escape plan.
Okay. Some of this, I want to say,
So for those who can't see the map, I'm positioning myself right outside the den. There are some stairs that lead down into the pool. So that whole area where it'd be open, I'm just positioning myself floating there so I can watch, wannabe football star walk over to the master bedroom.
yeah, I want to say most of this will be covered.
The pool's got to be open air.
Doesn't have to.
Part of it is. Part of it's closed in because this is Germany, so it does get cold. Mm-hmm. So the roof is kind of on a weird slant. It kind of comes up where
Okay.
this is all under cover if it needs to be, but it's pretty much open. So it could be heated and they still use it, but this is all out in the open where all the tanning chairs are. I guess there's some here, but they're just loungers. So this veranda, this small, is closed.
Okay.
And he does the moonwalk back here. Oh, where does he go in? I guess he goes in the bathroom and then it's unlocked. He just goes in. And you hear Voss from the other room. She's like, we got to stay on target. Just let him do what he's going to do. She's doing her thing. Let's see. All right. Intrusion is 4. Plus 4. Intelligence is 1. All right. Let's just roll it. I did not have any successes, so our mega dice crapped her. So 4. It takes her 10 successes to get in altogether. And that does it with the mega dice. And you guys hear a soft click. And she pulls the door, opens it up. It's a small, I'd say a foot by foot safe and a foot deep. And she starts pulling out some paperwork and some jewelry, like high-end jewelry, and like it's all set up on stuff. Pulls out some rolls of cash, or taped together cash, and she pulls out a small little hard drive. And starts turning around, and Slicer's putting it into... he just has a bag. He doesn't have anything fancy. It's just like a backpack. And Slicer goes, "Is this it?"
Probably. I mean, you only keep the stuff you need on hand. Everyone, the rest of rest of his money would all be in banks or small companies that he owns, because people break into homes and steal those a lot easier.
Stuff out.
That's why I'm saying there's nothing in the master suite over there.
She empties it out. She looks back at all of you. She gives you a wink. And she reaches her hand back in the back and draws like a symbol on it, and all of a sudden it lights up. She starts messing with a code. Let's see if she can get it one go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that, after she draws around, a picture of a little kid's face comes up, and she had drawn its face on the pad. And all of a sudden you guys hear a kunk. And anyone standing out in the middle...
Oh, that would be me.
You're like standing there and the floor starts moving. It drops down a little bit and starts sliding back under itself.
I float corrected. This man is an idiot.
The coffee table is half on the part that's not moving, and it slides just slightly off to the side as the rest of it slides under. And you see stairs going down and lights start dimming up. And these are very nice artistic wooden steps that go down, and it goes down about 10 feet. You guys go down. All right, she's kind of...
I say, yeah.
She's like...
I was probably standing, because I was standing in the middle of the floor. I'm standing on the thing. As soon as it starts moving, I'm like, oh. I have the dexterity to just be like, kind of casually walk with it until I find a stair, and then head down them.
Slicer goes, I'll be damned. I thought they said there was a
I heard you said middle of the room, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
You guys start going down.
I brake pump and go, shouldn't we get Blitz? Just, if he's looking for bling...
And you hear Chrome Samurai. I can hear him. I can see what he's doing.
I'm the radio silence, sir.
If anyone can pull this down, they know what we're doing. So
I'm going downstairs.
Okay.
Head down, and this is a beautiful marbled walls, marble floor. The light fixtures in here are everything is designer. It's just crazy.
Everything is smooth and cold to the touch.
Right.
Still floating.
And you get down there, and the walls after a certain point are wine cellars. They are cubbies for wine bottles from floor to ceiling, and it goes on for about 20 or 30 feet on both sides. There is a nice carpeting in front, and it's got pin lights on all the things. Everything's labeled meticulously with dates. They're not... It looks like they're printed off somewhere and slid into little things. It looks like a retail store almost. You walk down a little farther, and there are sliding doors, and it's 2 humidors on the side, which are just everything is in nice little shelves labeled, and they don't have prices on them, but everything's got names and locations and dates. Slicer's like, holy cow. I'm like, yeah, this is where everything's at. And you guys are still walking toward the back. The end of the hallway is a large area where there's several priceless paintings on the walls that you have seen in books that should be in the Germany's
they belong in a
art
museum
that they may have copies of, but the real things are here. A large area at the end has architectural drawers on the sides, file cabinets, high-end closets. Basically, look at the back wall. And there's a beautifully, looks like hand-carved wooden table in the center with a few high-back chairs. And she's kind of walking around looking at some stuff. And she's like, I think what we're looking for is back in one of these cubbies. And so everyone kind of spreads out and starts looking for stuff.
I'm just looking around like this is apparently the way to actually hoard things is to be rich and have all the space.
Right. And some of these cubbies are displays for artifacts from history. Some German Nazi stuff, but it's not like it's pro-Nazi. It's just someone's mirror, someone's pen, Hitler's pen that he signed something with. And everything's meticulously labeled and in airtight little boxes and everything. It's for any people with art history or art on their stuff, it's
I actually do have 2 dots.
Intoxicating to look at all this stuff. Being able to see these paintings up close, perfectly lit. It's very climate controlled down here, so even you guys breathing, it's being cycled out pretty fast. All right. I guess we'll do an investigation or larceny, whatever you guys want to do. Intrusion. Where do they have it? I thought they had like a larceny.
I think that is just intrusion.
Stealth, yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
that's a 2 for me. Yeah.
Or would it be investigation now? All right. And in the architect drawers, there are like original documents. There are drawings. There's a Picasso in there that he drew offhanded one day and crazy stuff. What else are they looking for?
I think I'm too fascinated by everything to be finding anything interesting.
It's gorgeous. It's like being in a
What's like
museum.
the die number that we need?
I think the die. There's always going to be 7.
Okay.
Right.
Then yeah, I don't.
Which is why I'm like, no, I didn't find anything, but everything is real pretty.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You guys are looking for the drives with the digital money, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm getting distracted by all this stuff, but I keep thinking like I'm looking for hardware.
Right. Slicer and Voss are going through drawers, and they're just like opening them, closing them. And they open up one of the cabinets, and inside is a computer, a very modern computer, and it's got several towers, and drives are all stacked nicely, and everything's labeled. And they're like, bingo. This is the drives are, I guess they're huge because this is 2008. They wouldn't be tiny little things. Long silver brick-like thing. The other one is smaller, so it doesn't hold as much. And she thinks the digital money's on the big silver
Grab them both.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
If we've got the time, grab them both.
And it's pretty easy. Computers. Does Slicer have any computer skill? Nope.
I have
Voss?
a dot in computers, but
Voss has
if she's got them,
2
then
dots.
she's,
Yeah.
because she's got the
All right,
intelligence.
she
So
starts getting back and fidgeting with them. And I think it's the same roll. She's got one more die. Oh, no, she doesn't. She's got 4 dice, 2 dice, and a mega. Yeah, it doesn't take her any time sheet. Pops the cords in the back, pulls the little one out, hands it to Slicer, puts it in the bag. The big one, you don't know when, unless someone has a big backpack, it's probably not going to fit anything because it's a nice.
I'll just carry
chunky.
it.
She takes her a little bit. Yeah, same thing. She unhooks it pretty easily, pulls it out. She's like, hands it to you. She's like, is there anything else we want?
If we think this is where it is, I'm gonna fly the payday out.
She, Slicer opens up a drawer and there's gold bullion.
oh, it's
He's
pretty.
like, oh. Ooh. Voss walks over and she goes, yeah, we could take this. And
Just fill your bags and get out.
she starts opening them up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go complete mission, and then I will come back to help Fairy.
Well,
Okay.
he's gonna have to turn the cameras off if you leave the building again. So
Yeah, he's on. He's listening.
yes, okay. I'm just saying, would it be better to wait until we're all leaving, so he only has to do it once, so there's fewer cuts?
Mr. Samurai, I believe that is your call. I think getting the payday out is the more important. Nothing? I'm going to fly up to the den.
Okay. And about the time you get there, Blitz is coming toward the steps. He's like, "You guys have been cut off. What's going on?" "Yeah, I got him right here." Yeah, he puts his finger to his ear, and he's wearing necklaces and rings and
We've got the payday.
a hat.
Clearly, the vault that we found in the floor where the real payday is. That that's clearly some insulated some way.
Okay.
So I'm flying the. So we were going to ask Samurai does he want us to wait for us to all load up at once? Because it took us 2 trips to get in. It will take us multiple trips to get out. So do we want to start one of those trips now where I ferry the payday that we're all waiting for out? Because that's one trip in itself.
Uh,
And I've floated up now to where I'm like next to him, so if my thing
Right.
pops back in range.
Yeah. As soon as your head clears the top, it comes back on. And he's in mid conversation. So you're wanting to take it. You're wanting to take it to the car, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the drop-off point, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a problem? Let me see if I could turn everything off then. Maybe I shouldn't turn everything off. He's kind of talking to himself. Oops. He's got to make intelligence 2. Just 1. Let me just loop the whole camera system for a couple minutes.
I only need a few seconds to fly there and back. Just let me know as soon as you got it.
All right, and go.
Gone. So I fly at
Back out the door.
yeah,
Punk. Open the door.
44 meters per action. Or quantum times flight plus flight times 50 kilometers per hour since we're not in actions. So that's 5. So I fly at 250 kilometers per hour.
31. What is it? What is your in combat?
In combat is 44 meters per action,
Okay.
which is the equivalent of 250 kilometers per hour.
Okay. How big is this house? This house is pretty good size. Boy. $15, $13.
Or 155 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So it's like 2 or 3 miles. That's almost 3 miles a minute.
Okay. I'm going to say each little square is 20 meters, just to be safe. And there's approximately 30 up to the car. Yeah, each of the little guys. Because this is a huge house. It is gigantic.
Okay.
Because the lap pool alone is 84 feet long.
Okay.
Just
Yeah. So if you said it's 30 to there.
Yes.
So 30 times 20 is 600. So it's going to take me 15 minutes to fly to him.
okay. Yeah, because it's huge farmland.
Yeah.
Take off. The rest of you guys, you hear someone, or down the basement, someone else opens a drawer, and there's bearer bonds, a stack of them.
Oh, those are lighter.
Yes. Slicer squeals a little bit, and Voss, her eyes just drop open. She's like, "We weren't told there was this much here." She starts like,
I would say I'm going to
stacks of
take one of the bullion and throw it in my backpack, but then I'm like, That's probably enough.
The
I don't
gold-
want to be carrying
The gold
more.
bullions are little tiny squares.
Oh, they're the little ones?
Yeah, the cute little, about the size of your phone, basically.
Oh.
Your phone now.
Right. Yeah. Right. Then maybe I'll take 3. But they're
Okay.
still probably heavy as fuck.
They are
and I'm,
super heavy, but-
I don't want more than that. Then a bearer bonds, much lighter.
Yes.
Those can go into things.
And those are huge. Those are like
carriers, right?
a foot by
Like
a
a
foot.
folio, actual
Yeah.
folio size, yeah.
They're the things they were stealing in Die Hard.
Right.
Yeah.
The huge stacks of stuff. So
Yep.
everyone starts grabbing handfuls and stuffing them in bags. Slicer stuffs some down his pants. He's like, this is amazing. You guys, it takes
Yeah,
a
I
couple
have
minutes.
backpack and
Yep.
tossing things into it.
So I would drop off the big one. And I let them know it's like, there were 2 drives. This is the big one. We think it's on here. I'm going to go back for them.
Okay. Samurai is not in the car. The car is empty.
Yeah, I'm just letting him know like
Okay.
what my plan is as I
Okay.
put it into the car. And I lock the car, put it under a seat or something.
Okay. Sounds good. And you take off back, and you're hearing all the bearer bonds, and people are gasping and all this stuff. People are very
But
excited.
would you be hearing it if he's...
If
we're
they're
still in the vault?
underground,
Blitz is not underground yet, and he's
Blitz, okay.
like, they found the bearer bonds.
Okay.
He's at least a little smart enough to know if he goes down, no one will be able to hear. And it's like, hand me the bullion.
someone else come to the top of the stairs where I can go
Yeah.
pick up the heavy stuff.
And Slicer runs out because his shit's all full, and he stands up top. He goes, go, 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 go. And it's almost like a weird football scene where he's like, gets down on all 3s, and stands there for a second. He just takes off firing down into the basement.
Like
Or
he's
into the-
waiting for it to block a tackle.
Yeah. And he comes rushing in, and like the air is like woof with him. And he starts grabbing bullion and throwing it into his backpack, which has a lot of other stuff. And he's like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. You're hearing crunching of maybe glass and some other stuff. And he, as you're watching him, does this incredibly fast. Like his hands start blurring as he's moving all this stuff. And he is picks up all the bullion and slaps it on his thing and puts it on his back. And he's like, huh. And he hits one of the doors that looks like it's a covered panel, and it pops open, and there is a tray of diamonds. And he's like, huh, lucky me. And he puts it all in a little bag, and he's, all right, I'm done. We're full. Voss is like, yeah, this is enough. And she starts heading out. Following? Are you waiting?
No, I'm following.
Okay. You guys get back to the top. You about time come floating back in. And she's like, we ready to go?
Yeah, I guess, we 3 all link up arms to pick up the 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, I guess you have to go outside first. Yeah. She goes back up to the safe, and she draws a symbol back in it, and it starts rolling back shut. She's like, for the video, we don't want anything out of place. Did you fuck up anything in the bedroom? That would be...
Assume yes.
Chrome Samurai. Let's see what he says. All right. No, he amazingly left everything exactly back the way it was. The guy's got some luck. And he just smiles real big. That's the way we do it in the hood. And she starts closing the safe back. And she's like grinning ear to ear.
Make sure that coffee table that moves slightly when the floor
Yeah, it
moves.
slowly moves back over and clicks back into place. Awareness.
I've got that.
I do
Everybody should have
too.
Any perception, mega perception with anybody?
No
No.
mega perception. I
But
got
I
a
got
1.
3 successes.
Oh, there you go.
1 is in 1 success.
Okay. I think she's only got a 1 in it. Oops.
I got a 7, an 8, and a 10.
Nice.
Gotta churn this to get the stuff at the bottom.
Jeez. Voss only got 1. I don't think Slicer has... He's got 1. Oh, he's got 3 perception. 3 mega.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's the lookout then.
4. All right. Wow, none of his mega dice hit. So he has 3 as well. So you two at the same time, he's like, "Did you hear that?" And you're like, "What's that?" And you guys look back out over the pool, and it looks like an object is coming toward the glass. It looks like a drone of some sort, but as it's getting closer, the faster it's getting closer, it's sort of sparking out the bottom. And it comes flying straight to the glass window on the den, or the glass doors, and they shatter inward everywhere.
Shield.
Everyone's shields go up if you got them.
I duck behind somebody else.
And Voss is like totally taken aback. She was putting the picture frame back, and she turns. She's like, "What the fuck is that?" At that point, everyone has a weird feeling in their stomachs for about a split second as gravity reverses itself. And it does it with a vengeance. So within the second, gravity goes from normal to 5 gravity up instantly. And it's nothing else in the room is falling upward, but you guys are. And so everyone takes, I don't think there's any way to beat the gravity unless you're flying. But
I was.
Even then, 5G instantly up. So let's look real quick to see what that was all, how that works with flying. Because I believe...
There is like a flight instead of dodge roll if you're already in the air. Let me see what that is.
199.
Dexterity plus flight. I can use that instead of a dodge roll if I'm already in the air.
Okay.
Depending on what you say.
Flying character caught in G field of 2 or greater must roll strength plus flight against the gravity wielder's skill total.
Awesome.
If the flyer scores fewer successes, he begins to fall. Against the skill total. Hang on.
Now, is it already in air or is it any flyer?
It's anyone flying in a... Okay. When it's reversed.
Yeah, I was the only one that was flying, I think.
Yeah.
And then the gold is the mega?
Okay.
Okay. So I got 3 successes.
Okay. Must roll strength plus flight against the gravity wielder's skill total. Okay. If you score fewer successes, you begin to fall. Depending on the character's altitude, might be able to make another strength plus flight roll to pull out of the fall in time to avoid hitting the ground. The players must spend more quantum points to reactivate flight. Okay. She had 13 was her skill total.
Yeah, no.
Was the skill total. So instantly everyone...
Yeah, that wasn't even possible for me.
Hits the ceiling and goes through it because it's 5G straight up. And so within the roof, the ceiling is about 20 feet up. They're pretty high ceilings, but since you're being moved at 5G, you guys hit critical, or close to critical when you hit the ceiling. So what's everyone's lethal soak?
4, except I'm double checking.
Because if you have the resiliency, it doubles your lethal soak.
It doubles. Yes. No. It should be 4. Because I said base 4, 2, Resiliency is
And that's
no,
with clothing and everything.
Okay, so here we go. Mega stamina doubles. So bonus is provided by mega stamina. Mega stamina 2. 2 extra bashing. 1 extra lethal. So it's 4 extra bashing. 2. Yes, lethal soak of 4.
Okay. And what's your lethal soak?
Hold on. Because I got the shield up. So let's see here. It's 10, 18, 19. Yeah, 19.
Okay. So you soak it all. It's 10 lethal damage to smash through the ceiling and everything. So I think all right. Slicer takes some damage. 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, even if I didn't get shield up, I still would have soaked all of it.
Yeah. 3, 4. Okay, he's down to wounded. Chrome Samurai is not there. Voss does have an armored t-shirt on. She has 0 lethal soak, right? Yeah, she has no. Eight, 9. She took a shitload of damage, but she is still up and awake. Blitz. I think he just soaked it all. Yep, he just soaked it all because he's got advanced body armor on. All right.
So how much does... So soak is just straight off? It's not a roll?
Straight off, there's no roll.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how much was it?
10 lethal. And I think with falling, 256.
Well, that was going to be my question. Is like once I regain control, any kind of control of my flight, like we enter into a free fall.
Yeah.
My first move is going to be to catch her.
Right. Okay, so then we roll for the remainder of the damage, whatever's left over.
Oh,
So I can roll, you can roll. It's up to you. So it's not automatic. Not for falling.
Oh, well, no, because okay, so I just take 6 lethal. No, from the initial hit. I just take 6 lethal.
Right.
So I'm at maimed.
What was your total soak? 4?
4.
Then we were going to roll the damage dice, or you can roll whatever you want to do.
Oh.
Because that's dice on falling.
Okay. No,
Right.
But that was going through the ceiling.
Right. Soak takes care of it, but
My soak was only 4.
right. So 6 dice.
For the ceiling?
For what? Yeah, it's 10 total dice to smash through the ceiling.
Okay, so it's okay.
And you're soak-
I'm confused about
That's right.
what we're actually okay.
So it's 10 dice.
So when I said-
when you hit the ceiling because you're at maximum velocity,
Right.
And
But okay.
your soak just automatically takes. You don't have to roll it anymore. At least for this game.
You don't have to roll the soak. It takes it straight off the dice, but then you roll the dice to see how much damage you actually take. Okay.
And there's some damage that does automatic. Falling doesn't. Like your quantum bolt has a parentheses of automatic damage. You don't have to roll.
Right.
So I can roll the damage. You can roll damage. It's up to you.
Go ahead and roll it. You're the one doing it.
She wants to make sure it's all your fault.
I know.
So it's down to 6 dice, right?
5 successes. No,
Okay.
4 successes. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I'm injured. That's fine.
All right. And that was everybody, I believe. Okay. What are you guys going to do? You're still falling upwards, basically, at a higher rate. It's sickening because you're being yanked in such a...
like I said, I'm going to be trying to get control of my flight.
Okay.
Though if the whole time I'm wrestling with a 13, it's not possible.
Yeah.
But that's what he'd be doing.
Okay. But once you're up here, you're not hitting anything. You're just being tossed, basically, pushed high in the air.
Yeah. I would direct it. Okay, so if I can use my flight at
you
all...
could probably move around if you want to grab somebody, because you're all falling at the same...
Yeah, I would swim towards Beth, and then I would...
Slicer's doing the same thing. He's moving toward her.
And then aim to get out of whatever this path is, because maybe it's a columned effect or something like that.
Okay. Just kind of pushing a little bit. Strength plus your flight. Sorry.
Okay.
Totally having a brain fart.
Red is the mega.
Okay.
I got 2.
Okay. You move a little bit, but you're not quite there. Oh, it's even bigger. Okay. All right. Mary, you going to do anything besides just grab onto whoever?
I don't think I have anything I can do, so
okay.
Yeah.
So both of them come to you. Wait, you're moving out, right?
I was moving. It was to move to Beth.
Okay.
And then once I had Beth, continue that path out of whatever I thought this was.
So you guys both sort of intercept her and grab an arm while you're still being vaulted up. It's basically a full fighting, whatever is doing, so you both converge. And about the time you guys grab her, it stops, and Blitz goes, "Oh, fuck, not again." And it's like it just turns off, and you guys are 90 meters. Yeah, you're 90 meters up in the air. And so he just starts, and I guess you guys hold, and Voss holds for a second, and she's like, "Oh shit," and she starts diving down toward him to try and grab him.
I say, "I've got her. Go get him. You're the better flyer. He's got more weight on him."
And he takes off.
I fly you towards the van.
Wait, what? We're just leaving them? We can't do that.
We need to offload your weight and then go back for them.
Do we have time? It took you 15 minutes to get there and back last time. Do we have time for that? What's going on?
As you guys are flying away.
Right, I can't do anything, so...
As you're flying away, perception or awareness, I'm sorry. They're just about grabbing him, and they're pulling with all their might, trying to slow his fall.
I got 3 successes.
3?
I got 2.
2? You guys, like a split second, look back to see them in the little room that you guys were in. Just explodes, and things are flying everywhere. It's like a tornado is hitting it at this point. And they are slowly sinking into the vortex because they're both pulling up on him, and he's so heavy with the gold bullion. They're just slowly sinking down in.
So we can choose. Either we can be caught in that and not escape, or we can offload and come back and see what we can do in a rescue.
Chrome Samurai starts yelling. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Something's here. It's got power. And I'm not carrying that much extra weight. What's the point of offloading? Like, it's all mostly in bearer bonds. I'm carrying like 3 bullion. It's not...
Weight is weight when it comes to flight.
3 extras.
And he goes, and I let him know it's like some kind of anti-grav missile came in, threw us all up in the air. There's some kind of cyclone that's sucking the other 3 down in to it. I am not a strong enough flyer to fight a cyclone. Yes, I have every intention of right now of dropping everything off at the van, flipping into hero persona, and then coming out. I can probably do something for them with that. But as I am right now, nope.
So you're going to waste time running away to change clothes? Is that what you're saying?
Sure, if that's what it makes sense to you. Yes, I am wasting time in formulating a plan that will actually save them.
What I'm saying is, what's wrong with you? Like,
You're leaving? You hear on the comm. All the cameras are smashed pretty much in the area you were in. You are leaving. What are you doing up there?
I'm coming back.
what?
The viewers watching this see him sitting in a bathtub looking at all the cameras, and he sees you up on the top, like slowly floating. What the rest of it? And he cuts to another visual of them sinking down in this vortex of shit going off everywhere. What? I can't do anything from here. I can't do anything about that.
I'm aware. Now we can either you can get the payday.
Security guards are coming.
Exactly. And if I come back as Zeus, then I'm hired to be there, and I'm hired to escort people away, which is what I can then do.
It looks like they need help lifting him. They're not able to fully carry him.
We have a play that can get them out.
Maybe not in time. I'm actually mad, but I'm not fighting you because I'm not stupid. For the record, that's like, I am yelling at you, but I'm not struggling either.
Yeah.
You've got about 2 more rounds before they sink down into it, and before you're out of range to make it back.
Yeah, I'm sticking to my little plan.
Okay. And they float down into the chaos, and you hear them screaming. And they're shouting, "We need help! We need help!" And it's just a calamity from all the stuff blowing around or hitting everything. All right, so they got 1 round in the. One round in the tornado. What did she have for her soak? I don't remember her. I don't think her soak was very high. She just got whacked. All right. She starts screaming orders over the mess of sound that's everywhere. And you guys hear her. She's about mid-sentence, like, "We need help picking him up. It's not really hitting us. It's just everything is swirling around like crazy." And all of a sudden she goes, "Ugh!" And her comm goes dead. "What the fuck happened to her?" And you hear like a crash as you assume they hit the floor or go back in through the hole. "What happened to her? What happened to her? I don't know. I can't see anything." You guys are. It took you 15 turns?
Essentially, it's 15 minutes to get there. It'll be 15 minutes to get back. It's get there. I'm ditching the fatigues, heroing up.
Okay.
And I've got a way of boosting back, but.
How many squares can you go per turn?
I can go 44 meters. So it's like a little over 2 squares.
So there, 2, 3.
On the 5th one, I would get an extra square.
5. I'll do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 to get there. So we were at 4 when they descended into it, and we got these 2 more. So you're about halfway there. 6. And this is where Voss goes quiet. And as you're looking back, like shit, as couches are flying out, glasses. It's like it's almost being pulsed up and out and then dropped up and out and dropped. 2 more, 9. And Slicer is like, you hear it, it's muffled. and you keep hearing Blitz say, I got you, I got you, I got you guys, I got you guys. And Slicer's trying to talk, but it's extremely muffled, like he's being tucked under an arm or something. And he's like, you hear Blitz saying, don't let go over, don't let go over, I got you guys, I got you guys. And about the time you get to 10, everything just drops in the house. And you guys hear sirens going off down here, and there's a van with guys that they're getting at, and they're starting to drive up. And it looks like they're mobilized. They've got semi-automatic rifles and gear that they're putting on as they're getting into these jeeps. And at 9, and we'll do that. Do that there. All right. So 2 more, and you guys land at the car by the bush. You're dropped off. And he goes in the van.
Take off the earpiece. I take off the fatigues. Hero up. And I'm going to do one of these things. Come up to the gate. And when I, so this is the plan of action that I'm taking.
Okay.
I tell her to get the car out of here.
Okay.
Whether or not you do that, I don't know. I then will fly basically along the road back to here in superhero form, get to the gate, and I will identify myself as Zeus from Project Utopia, and that I was hired by Project Utopia to monitor this. I understand that there are Novas on the premises.
Okay.
And ask for permission to enter.
You need to do a convincing roll, mister.
I have not lied.
That is going to be probably command or perform, some sort of charisma.
Yeah, I got command. I got 3.
3?
Yep.
All right.
Everything I said was 100% true. I was hired. There are Novas on the presence.
All right.
Like I even show them like the Nova badge and everything.
Okay, there's 2 guys in each building that are waiting, and they are calling for reinforcements. You overhear one of them talking, giving in a code, and from the other booth, one of the guys is yelling, "When's the military going to be here?" Cut back to you at the van. What's the matter?
No, that's literally me going, what the fuck? And
I did ditch the earpiece that was given to me by.
Yeah, I know. Quick refresher for Mary.
Yes.
So we were given the only way we were given permission to like actually show up on the premises is if there were other Novus around.
Right, if lethal force was necessary.
Right. Okay. What I was actually, sorry, I'm distracted. What I was trying to look for was a specialty thing and the direction so where we're parked versus the direction the drone came in through.
Drone came in from the east.
So, and van is on the complete opposite side of the building, huh? So that doesn't help. Okay.
And are you in the van? Or are you out watching the house?
Right now, I'm standing next to the van going, what the fuck? You just left me here, but you can't hear me because you took your earphone out. Like,
you probably had like a
minute,
minute, maybe 2 of me like tossing off fatigues and powering up to go, what the fuck? And then I was gone.
Yeah. And you're looking down the road and there's this croissant swirl of smoke and dirt as he's flying off straight down the street.
Right.
Like he's leaving.
Yep.
And at the last second you see him turn.
Can you guys still, Cypher, can you still hear me?
Yeah. A slicer, yeah.
Slicer,
yeah,
sorry, whatever.
Yeah. Holy crap, this place is destroyed.
Oh, well, and actually Cypher too,
Oh, Chrome Samurai, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
That's right. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm working on trying to intercept these calls they're making out.
Yeah. Is there any place I can drive to get closer that is out of sight that might help them get to the van faster?
I think the only way would be the front gate, and I would not recommend going there. They know where you're parked. I mean, the crew knows where you're parked.
Right. Then until somebody says everything's fucked, I'm staying here and waiting for them because I got nothing else I can do.
Okay. You hear Blitz. He's like, stand out of the way. Get out of the way so I can move this. And you hear some crashing and some stuff. Off in the distance, with your perception and alertness, you see him pushing through the back door of that small thing, and he's like lifting up some rubble and moving it off. Slicer is holding an unconscious Voss, and she is out. She's not look good at well, you can't really see it from here. No. You guys are...
Although I do have sharp sight. That's my enhancement.
So you're zooming in on details. Yeah. She's got blood dribbling out of her mouth and her nose. You don't see any like strike marks on her, so you don't know what has happened. You guys, they are getting in jeeps and heading out.
Do they let me in the premises?
The guy's like, it's fine.
When I do that, I'm going to, in addition to using flight, I'm going to use propel to speed me even faster.
Okay.
Basically, get there before the jeep.
Okay. How fast does it go? Kilometers per hour? 200?
It would be rating times 2. So
do you have a movement? Yeah, you got it in your movement. You can put fly down. That's what that fourth box is for.
Okay, yeah, I haven't done
fly
that.
or swim or whatever you.
Yeah, so my regular flight is 44 kilometers per action. This using propel as one of the enhancement things. Let's see. Can move at rapid speeds, power rating times 2 plus 20 meters per action. So this would increase it by an addition, depending on how you would do it. This would be an additional 28 meters per action.
Oh, that almost doubles it.
Yeah. Well, it increases it by a little over 50%.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this is the flashy lightning shooting out behind me. This is not stealth.
Then you probably want to be on the side because it would probably strike the jeeps. I mean, if it's that
right, I would do
flash.
it in a way that would, either high enough or something like that, where I would not have to strike the jeeps.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are flying up. You see them coming out, and they're moving as fast as they can across this terrain. I guess I need to look at what his movement is. Blitz. He does have mega dexterity for fast tasks.
And I mean, I realize this probably isn't what is. But the lightning and being in front of them is intentionally flashing. Hopefully, if they've got any night vision, it's throwing that off. Right. If they've got...
This is morning. It's daytime.
Oh, it's daytime?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys left early in the morning, so...
Either way, bright flashing lights shooting out from behind me. Hopefully, that's a little distracting to them, so they can't really see as much.
All right. He can sprint 38 meters a turn around. What else was I going to look at? Does his size do anything? Size morph. You would think he would be able to run faster, but you never know.
Actually, most like large mechanical objects, like they move a lot slower.
Right.
I think it was like they calculated the speed from like the kaiju, like the Jaegers in those, and the punches only moved at like 5 miles an hour. Where like regular human punch moves at like 30 or something like that.
Yeah, at a certain point, mass overcomes speed.
Right.
Oh. Each dot and size morph grow also increases the character's strength by 2, stamina by 1, and adds 2 to his dexterity for the purpose of determining how fast he can walk or run.
So he does get faster.
Yes.
Longer steps, I guess.
Must get faster. Must get faster.
But it's only for movement, so it's not to attacks and stuff. Strength exceeds 5. It provides the appropriate mega abilities. I don't think he has that.
And fast tasks, I think, is specifically like taking things apart, putting them back together. It doesn't apply to just movement.
Right.
I put it on a different character so she could take apart engines.
Dexterity is 4. So I would bump him into another mega dexterity dot. Boy, I'll have to mix that up. So let's just say he's moving 2 per turn. All right. So basically we're going to say he's at the 4 right now while you guys are heading up. And you're moving pretty fast.
I'm moving at 62, so I'm moving at 3 a turn.
Right. You see them running. He's running as fast as he can, carrying both of them, and he starts growing, getting huge.
I'm going to make the lightning coming out behind me as flashy as possible.
There you go.
And kind of maybe drift a little that way and still head towards the house.
Do you think you could keep in between them if you do it just right?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do, and just be this bulb of flashing distraction.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see what he has in stealth, because he is trying to do this somewhat sneaky. Oh, he does have him.
Stealth Hulk.
6. Yeah.
At a certain point, Mega Dex makes up for stealth.
Yeah. Got 2 mega dice. All right. No mega dice hit. I guess I could have reduced the difficulty for those. Oh, he got 110. So he's doing okay. What are you? What would you be? How would you be doing this?
Style?
Yeah. Yeah. Style plus your
appearance.
We'll use your. Where's that style at? Yeah, it's your style dice pool. Whenever I ask for that, it should be that whole thing, and we're gonna add your powers into that too.
Oh fuck yes! So
not as mega dice. We'll just use them as
as regular dice. Yeah, the total pool for that is 10.
There you go. Difficulty is always 7.
I love the random fact that a dot in Mega Appearance gives you an extra dot in style, like on top of the extra dot from Mega Appearance. Just get more stylish.
Just for
just for fun.
7.
7. You see him flare up and sparks start going everywhere as Blitz is growing huge. And he's running with both of them in each arm, or got one guy tucked.
I'm just
He's
picturing
holding onto her.
that monkey running with 2 kittens.
Slicer is holding on to Voss like he's hugging her, and then Blitz has him tucked under his arm, running like a football.
You ever held a kid who was holding a teddy bear? It's kind of like that.
Yep. And he's moving pretty damn fast. All right. So he'll make it probably to 8 by the time you guys reach the house. Because you guys are on a smooth road, it's pretty easy for them to go as fast as they can. And you hear them in the car go, whoa, when you start throwing off all kinds of electricity and everything.
Sorry!
Let's see, we'll roll their perception. Perception is 3. Awareness is 3. You had 7 successes and he had 1. Yeah, they don't see anything.
Okay.
From your perspective, Mary, you're seeing all this and you're like, what the fuck? And he is lumbering about the time they pull up. And the guys get out of the cars and they got their weapons loaded. You get there first.
Yeah. And when I do, I do the when I land, it's a descend down, and I just hold a hand back going, I've got this.
Okay.
Don't keep them outside. Don't keep them outside. You can't hear me. Don't keep them outside.
I start walking in, and to the door, and again powered up. I don't kick the door down, but I do force open. And
very much left.
Yeah, because where are we in this? Because I'd imagine...
All right. This is the official front door, I believe, to the house. I want to say this is the destruction circle.
Okay.
All of this is just, it's in small pieces, and whatever was attached is falling down or crumbling or falling apart.
Okay.
So the front door opens. You can get it open.
Oh, okay. So but we see this. We can see the destruction from over here. Okay.
There's
So then,
shit all over the ground.
in that case, I would actively move towards the destruction circle, and when I get to the end to the edge of it, I start to scan and I flag them closer to me as I continue to descend down into it, and I start using because there's crush, which is like to throw which is like to like. It's that crushing force, but also like repels stuff. Apparently, right. I'm going to start using that to like move debris and stuff out of the way.
As you're coming up to it, you see the floor is not damaged. Everything that was above ground has just been shredded somehow, but the floor is perfectly fine.
Yeah. And this is when I start going through the like, if you know what's good for you, you'll come out quietly. And again, it's like,
okay,
I make a big show of tossing stuff this way.
And they start fanning out around, guns drawn.
Yeah, I start making a big show of throwing stuff towards the east.
Okay.
Because it's like I'm right-handed, so throwing it to my right. Here, watch this giant piece of concrete go that way.
That's fine. And Blitz gets up to the car. Finally, I don't think he can jump the fence. The fence is huge. So he starts shrinking back down.
Okay.
He's like, I don't want to smash the fence. I don't want to.
Does anybody have any bolt cutters?
This is like a wrought iron.
Oh, you're right.
Tall fence with the curved.
No, big enough
things.
bolt cutters. No.
Slicer flies over the thing with Gemma and sets her in the floor of the
van.
And it turns around. He's like, "Buddy, I don't know. I don't think I can haul you up by myself. I think he could. I was like 7.
Mm-mm. How tall is the fence?
He's got a mega strength, right?
The fence. I don't think he did. Let me see. The fence. I probably didn't write down. I thought it was like an 8 or 10 foot fence.
Okay, but
it's meant to keep people out.
But Blitz, does he have a mega strength?
That's what I was asking, because if Blitz has one,
he can probably
jumping
jump
that
it.
is not a problem.
And if it's curved to prevent people from coming in, they're curved the right way to let them get out easier.
Yeah. Let's see how tall he gets to. Doubles height and mass. Is that for just one? Each dot doubles the character's height, reach, and mass. And he has 2 dots, 3 dots?
So we had times 4.
2 dots. So he goes from 6 foot to 12 foot to 24 foot? Or is it just his base?
I'd imagine it goes off base, because then it's okay. Otherwise it's exponential.
Right. Yeah.
Which, I mean, given that this is a superhero game, possibly.
Yeah.
Because that would make him 18 feet. That would put it at so even if we load-balled it 18 feet.
Right.
That then puts it at
what would his max be?
His waist. He could easily hop over that.
Or, grab the top and roll over, like whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying the max would be, 30 feet tall? That's as big as he can get.
If we went with his...
6 times 5, yeah. 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 There's got to be something that does... Is there an extra for that? Nope. Oh. String stamina, whatever, 2 dots. It's was extra die to attack or perceive the character. Further, the character suffers 2 boxes worth of damage. 612. 4. So if we did it doubled each size, he could get up to 60 feet tall with 5 dots, and that would be roughly the max. Right? 6, 12, 24,
Yes,
48. Oh, 80. 80 something.
Something. I'd have to. We have
That's
to.
not too bad. I mean, that's most comic book Ant-Man, Giant Man can get up pretty high.
So
This is true. Okay.
So we'll just do it that way.
24, 48, 96.
And then even then with the
I mean, if that's level 5, that should be
Right.
yeah, and then if he's got strength abilities of might, I mean that's literally leaping
Right.
is
Yeah.
one of the things under that. So yeah, he could step over.
Yeah, he
this.
just steps over it and then shrinks down the other side. He didn't suffer any damage while he was big, so he's okay on that. That's another big thing they got to watch out for.
And so does Ant-Man.
Yeah. All right. What do we do? We're going to wait for him? We're going to get out of here? What's...
I don't know. They know he's there. We should probably just go.
Slicer's like, Foss needs medical help.
Yeah.
Guys all climb in, pull the keys from her pocket, starts up the van. Slicer, did I look to see if Slicer had drive?
I have a dot and drive and mega dexterity if nobody else has drive.
Nothing, but he's got a lot of dexterity and 2 mega dex. He's like, I think I can wing this. Slowly takes off. It's like I take the metros everywhere.
What?
I have people
He's
drive
Japanese.
me or I fly,
Yeah.
so
It's true. It's true.
He probably used to have people drive him. He was very wealthy.
That's true. He was.
All right. So they take off driving. The aftermath is as it is. It's wrecked.
I'm just like looking around. It's like, what? What? Yeah, and I actually looked at the guy like, what caused this? As I find like,
Yeah.
if I find because like I knew about where that bomb exploded, so I find something. Go, what was this that caused this? What did they have? Have you seen this before?
What's your investigation?
My investigation is 0. Oh, my perception is 2.
Oh.
I pick up anything.
Yeah, you're just picking up stuff like, this looks like it's broken. And it is.
Like I'm picking up like weird metal shards and like.
Yeah. What's your intelligence engineering?
2.
Roll it. Just give me a roll.
2.
You.
I got double 7s.
This is not a bomb because the floor would have been marred or marked or cracked or scratched. It looks like it's fine. It looks like everything above, like a half inch, has been scoured, pulled apart, ripped apart.
Yeah.
So you managed to say a few things that looks like everything was shredded, and a bomb would have left a mark on the floor, and that's about, for your 2 successes, about all you get. You kind of like
Yeah.
start walking around.
It's like
Hands on hips, looking at things.
as Nova was monitoring the situation, they informed me that there was some kind of explosion. Clearly.
You wait a couple more minutes, and military personnel start showing up. The German military start driving up the road. They've got a personnel carrier and some other cars, SUVs that are blacked out, and they're coming up. They start unloading and securing the perimeter and everything. People are running everywhere. There is a lieutenant comes up, and he starts basically taking over the area. The armed security guys go off to a side, and they start being questioned. And
I just like have the Nova badge like up pinned to my chest.
Lieutenant walks over to you and he goes, "What's your name, sir?"
Zeus. Project Utopia sent me here to assist. While monitoring the situation, I noticed some kind of explosion whirlwind came in to investigate. But by the time we got here, it appeared they'd already cleared out.
Okay. He questions you a little bit longer, takes all of your information down, badge number and all that stuff. And he says, well, that's, the rest of this looks like a cleanup from now, where they're taking pictures and recording the area and everything like that. Said if we need you, we'll contact you. Don't leave the city for the next 24 hours.
Absolutely.
And he gets like where you're he asks where you're staying at and everything.
I tell him the hotel I checked into.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir. And hopefully we'll have more information tomorrow.
Okay.
And they go to doing their thing.
Yeah,
more military people are showing up. People in coats.
I rise, and as I rise up, I go, it's a shame. Had I been on site, we might have been able to catch them. But I was too far away. As I fly off.
Do your style. Roll your style for that. A few people are looking at you.
I only got 2.
2. A few people are looking at you as you're leaving. The rest seem to be ignoring you and doing their own thing. You crackle up into the air and then take off.
Mm-hmm. And it's whatever is the most straight line towards where I was staying. That's what I take.
You guys arrive back at the hotel. They get inside and Chrome Samurai tells her to lay her down on the floor, and he gets out some smelling salts and pops it and wakes her back up. She's like, "What the fuck hit me?" Like, we don't know. We don't know what it was. It was bad. Do you guys clear out the car too with all your gear and everything, or do you leave it all in there just to get her inside real quick? It's up to you guys.
While we were driving back, since Cypher was driving, can I make a medicine check to look at her?
Yeah.
Because I have a dot in that.
They do. Slicer does not. Blitz does not. Chrome Samurai has a couple dots.
I got 2 successes.
2?
Yes.
She has been hit with bashing damage, some sort of concussive force that like squeezed her and then let it go, or it's almost like she got smushed from the top.
Okay, but like she's not bleeding out anywhere, so
no,
it's
no broken bones.
Okay.
She just got like
She's
it was
just
enough
got,
to
like,
knock her the fuck
hit
out.
by a concussive force. Right. Okay, which means that I'm thinking we need to get her inside, but she's not in critical danger, so we should probably take the stuff with us and not leave it in the car.
Right. Yeah, she was at incapacitated with lethal all the way down.
Right, and we're not really running, so we can divvy up some weight and we'll get her in, but we'll also take in everything else.
She has 13 health levels, and she went through them all.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So she's pretty tough.
Yeah.
She's got more health levels than I do, but
way more health than I do.
Yeah,
I can take a better bashing hit.
She's got 2 bruised, a hurt, an injured, a wounded, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maimed.
Jesus.
Damn.
A crippled, incapacitated, and then dead. But she was down. So she is not moving anywhere.
That's fine.
She can't. Yeah.
Right.
All right. She just keeps asking questions like, what was that? Did anyone see what happened? No one seems to have any answers. Samurai's got some bandages out, and he doesn't know what to do because she's not.
Right.
She's bruised up really bad, like all over. Doesn't look like there's any internal bleeding, but she is pretty much a bruise from head to toe.
Okay. Well, I mean, if she's got any like ribs that need strapping down or whatever, that much I can probably do.
They pretty much take off like her shoes, any rings, anything, because she starts swelling up a little bit. And they're like, she's going to have to be here a while to get healed back up. She doesn't have any
regeneration or anything.
I don't think so. No. She does have healing. Okay, she'll be okay. She's like, I just need some time.
Okay.
She's rubbed some dirt on it, put some ice on it.
1 quantum point per level healed.
You like kick Cypher out of a corner of the bathtub and
get
some ice on her.
She can do 2 lethal max probably per thing. All right. So as she's sitting there, she starts concentrating a little bit, and you see some of the bruising start to, instead of going from all black and blue, she starts going into like a Dalmatian looking.
The yellows and greens.
I would say, green and yellow and black and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really gross looking. But she is concentrating, and she stops for a little bit and rests, and then she does it again and starts shrinking up some more.
She's gonna need food.
She needs
I'm looking around and go, how do we order food?
Chrome Samurai kind of steps back after she starts healing herself. He goes, we'll call some up. And he goes back into his bathroom. About 10 minutes later, food comes up, and you arrive about that time.
Now, so here's my question. Was I originally staying at the same hotel as them or a different hotel?
You two were
Different
booked into
hotel.
a different hotel.
That's the hotel that I went to.
Okay. You get back there, and your stuff's all the other one, but you're there.
Yeah. Do I have my cell phone? Can I have my cell phone? If I don't have my cell phone, I will go into my room and use my room phone.
Okay. Would you have taken your cell phone with you on this?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. That's a fair question. And I'm going to call her cell phone from that line.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go. It's Betsy, right?
Beth.
Okay. I actually do know the character. Actually knows your name.
I know.
And would call you by that. Full on. Like, Bethany. Yes, this is Zeus. I'm calling to give you a report from my shift today. Mm-hmm. There was a break-in at the Target's facility. However, the scoundrels were able to get away. They are currently doing some cleanup there. However, I have been asked to remain at the hotel through the duration of the next 24 hours. It may look best for Project Utopia if you also were to come to the hotel. Simple solidarity, show that we've got nothing to hide.
All right, so I get okay.
I understand it's your day off, but and I'm sorry to do this to you, but duty calls, as they say.
I see. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll be there in a bit.
Hang up.
Okay. Yeah, Slicer is watching Voss, holding her hand. Blitz is sitting on the couch, just looking dazed, like watching the whole scene.
Does he look hurt at all?
No.
Okay.
No, his soak is
Curious.
huge.
I figured.
There's marks on his body armor. He had full tactical gear on.
Gotcha.
Basically his football gear.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He's probably right. They're gonna know to look for the two of us over there. In theory, no cover has been blown.
Who's looking for you?
We
Slicer
told them.
says.
We told them we were working for Utopia.
Did you?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
We showed them the plans, and we were like, "This is
okay.
what's going on."
From the get-go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. At
But
that time, there's a knock on the door, and Blitz goes over and opens it up, and it's a huge 2 rolling trays of pizza and steak and shrimp and all kinds of stuff. And it rolls in. And he's like, "That's what I'm talking about."
and I pick up 2 slices of pizza and stack them on top of each other and start eating them as I'm like, so it's probably best if I go over there and maintain our cover so that there's, this is fine. We'll keep in contact. You have our information. You got us here.
You suddenly see the light go on in Blitz's head. He's like, "Hey, where's Zeus at?"
He's at the other hotel. He made sure that they didn't see you coming out the back door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in theory, nobody knows anybody was there still. Cypher or Ninja Samurai. What's his name?
Chrome Samurai.
Chrome Samurai. Okay. I can't remember the Chrome part. I'm like,
That's all right.
Samurai. Anyway,
Samurai,
so the
pizza cat.
you're pretty sure that the cameras were down before.
You hear, he's in the bathroom still doing
Right.
this thing, and you hear "oh shit," and he comes running out, looking frantic, and he runs over to the coffee table and picks up a remote and clicks on TV, and it's a news report, German news, and he's like, "I don't fucking speak German." He clicks through to CNN, and CNN is covering a plane crash in the Middle East, and the person, all hands were lost. This is the flight from Germany to the Middle East, and
That this fucking prince was on?
the Prime Minister of Germany has been killed. The German president of Bucharest, Horst Kohler,
I pick up my
has
phone
been
call
killed
again.
with all hands.
Pick up my cell phone again and redial. I'm like, are you watching the news?
I am not. I've gone to the bar and I've realized I don't have my
The
credit
room
card,
phone
so
rings and rings and
When you
rings.
get down there, it's on all the news.
Oh, okay.
And people are like, oh. I mean, the president just fucking got killed or died or in a plane crash. So they are freaking out. You're walking down and people are like running around. And
I'm going to be
Some people are
actively
crying.
calming people. It's like, it is good to mourn, but we cannot panic. You must show that you are strong. This is how terror wins. Don't let it into your heart. You know,
charisma?
sure. I can also charisma command, charisma
Yep. Perform.
perform. Damn, I got nothing to perform. I just got the 2 charisma. Nothing. I got a 3 and a 4.
What's your wits and rapport?
Oh, wits and rapport? That's also 2.
So how many successes did you get?
None. But
You're-
no botches.
You're
talking
comforting
yeah.
by doing. You're doing this
Exactly.
and being comforting.
You have to be strong
Right.
for your.
You're
for
doing
your
the like
country.
after school special,
Right.
like but in real life, and it
No,
doesn't work as
I'm
well.
Life
Yeah.
goes on.
I'm reciting
People are like looking at you like,
lines.
what?
I'm reciting lines from some commercial I did
Right.
about like our heroes, the police officers,
Right.
the
People
true
are-
heroes.
Yeah, people are still just flabbergasted. So this goes on in the evening. I guess you leave soon.
love
Yeah,
Or do
I'm
you
gonna-
eat
I'll pack
after
up-
all this. Like
Right.
the
I
crew's like all like, holy shit.
put my pants, put on some of my blue jeans and my Metallica t-shirt again. Take my backpack. I'm like, we'll be in touch. Just this way, maybe we can get both sides of this.
Okay. Voss sits up. Finally, she goes, I hope they don't pin this on us.
We'll do what we can from the other end too. So
Okay. Head over to the
Mm-hmm.
other hotel, and
I'll bring at least a bag that has a change of clothes for
there
him.
you go. And when you walk in, you hear his voice talking to people, and people do not sound.
Like he's like
he's-
standing in the bar off the
I'm
lobby.
posing.
Yeah, I know. And
100%.
and I'm like walking by, and I'm just like I do a half sort of wave, and I'm like, I'm headed up to the room without even saying anything, and then I ignore you and keep going.
I don't even know if I notice.
It's a good question. I don't try real hard to get your attention because I'm kind of being incognito, but
Right.
And I'm
if you do, I do try a little bit. But
I got a
Roll your
5.
stealth.
you gotta be.
Roll your stealth then. Dexterity stealth.
I don't know, maybe because you're
Well, I'm not. Yeah, because I'm not trying to hide from him. I'm trying to just be nonchalant, about
Nonchalant,
walking
and-
in and not.
That's still a stealth.
I got 3 on my perception.
Yeah.
I feel like a nonchalant. I would pick that up. But I don't care. So
Fair enough.
I'm still like
Dex and
just
stealth. Yeah.
So
Oh.
that was my Mega Dex dice.
Oh.
So
Oh.
yes,
Yeah. You don't see her
okay. Okay, cool.
with the mega die alone. You don't see her. She's not trying to going out of her way to sneak, but her quiet, like walking with head down, is knowing with the TVs and everything going on.
I honestly don't know if I ever want to like increase my rapport with people. I think it's just too funny.
If you start getting taint, it will happen automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. All right. An hour goes by. You're up in the room, shower, whatever. You're
Yeah.
sitting around. Are you still downstairs? Or you're going to eventually go back
looking
up?
through the cool stuff I have in my
things
backpack.
seem to naturally like either like people have left the hotel to go to their families or
Yeah.
just in general calm
It's starting to
down.
calm down about an hour later.
Then yeah, I'll head back up to my room.
The news starts repeating itself in a loop, basically.
Yeah.
And you go up in, you walk inside, and she's sitting there with a towel around her head and bathrobe, and she's watching the news too. And your phone rings.
And once I get back in the room, it's just that's when the
Yeah.
the power down happens.
I answer. Hi, hello.
Beth?
Do I recognize the number? Is it blocked? Is it?
doesn't even say blocked. It doesn't come up with anything.
No, it just.
So you haven't called Cypher yet? It's Cypher.
Okay, so yeah.
So Beth, you got the big hard drive, right?
It was in the van. We brought it up to the room, right?
It wasn't in the van. We went back to get everything else.
We brought everything up all at the same time.
Then it was not there. We thought you had it in your backpack, or
No, I didn't take anything that heavy. I was only taking my share.
we can't find it. Does Zeus have it?
Did you dropped the hard drive off in the van, didn't you?
Yeah, I tucked it in under the passenger seat.
Did you guys check under the passenger seat?
Kind of had to wedge it in there.
I think his intelligence Voss would have gone down. 400 mega intelligence. This would have been perception. Yeah. We looked everywhere, and it's not there. So we were wondering if you guys took it with you to the other hotel, or what?
No.
Do you have her on speakerphone or something?
I mean, I can at that point.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't think you guys had it because I pulled all the video.
I was going to say, did you have video on the
garage.
camera? Well, did you have video on the van while it was parked at the building?
Only from a distance, and I didn't see anything at all. After he loaded it in and changed and took off.
And I was standing there the whole time.
I mean,
well,
there would have been...
I wasn't standing. Well, there was because there was a delay when you dropped it off and then came back.
Right.
It would have been alone for at most 40 minutes because I flew in, dropped it off, went back.
We were in the cellar while you were doing that.
Then suddenly we were all in the sky.
Yeah.
Right.
So however long it took me to fly there, to fly from the van, to get thrown into the sky and fly back, was it like 35, 40 minutes? So that's your window in which it would have been unattended.
Yeah, we didn't pick anything up at all. Well, we'll look on the drives we got and see what's going on. See if it's what we're looking for, or what they were looking for. He's like, I'll call you back tomorrow.
Yeah, let us know.
He hangs up. I think we'll call it there. Unless there's anything you guys want to do with the rest of the night.
No,
not really. The only thing I would be doing while waiting for him, not really waiting for him, just hanging out in a hotel room with nothing better to do, because I'm still kind of annoyed at him, but is flipping through news channels, because they're all going to be covering the same thing, but I'm looking specifically at the footage they have, if there's anything that would indicate that there's any kind of visual evidence of what was going on.
They have nothing, and they haven't pulled the record. They haven't found the recorder yet.
Okay.
They were flying through an area that is over desert or something like that, and there was just nothing.
And then there's so far no mention of any incident at his house, tagging along with the stories about his death.
No.
Okay. That's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of scanning the news for
nothing at all.
Okay.
Which is odd.
Okay.
So there's someone's keeping kind of quiet.
After that phone call, there's like order of operation of things would be after that phone call, a little bit of time. I would call our contact at Project Utopia, Ramirez, and I'd give him a rundown of. So I was about, a mile outside. Heard the explosion, flew in, gave him my ID. We came. By the time we got on, I give him that rundown.
Okay.
And just tell him we were taking turns watching the house.
Yeah, I was taking days. You were taking nights. Mm-hmm. And
he's like, what the hell happened?
We don't know. By the time we got there was an explosion. By the time we got in there, the dust had settled, and I described how the explosion looked like. It was everything on the ground up had been taken out.
Holes in the ceiling.
There's holes in the ceiling. The ceiling's gone.
Yeah.
Was the safe open when we got there?
We had closed it.
Yeah, everything had been closed.
We had closed it just before the drone crashed through the window.
Right. She even closed the wall safe before.
Because we made sure we had time to make sure everything was back in perfect position.
Right. So it's like, I got there and So I assumed with an explosion that loud, he was either A, military force, or B, a Nova, so I intervened. But by the time we got there was no one there. It was just the guards and I. The military then showed up. I gave them a rundown, and then I came back to the hotel.
The military is putting a blackout on the house. They're not releasing any information on it because they want to be able to use it if they do find a suspect to see if it was tied together. But you're saying, were these tied together at all? Was this a joint strike or?
We don't know. I give them the time of the explosion.
It was close. It wasn't at the same time. But he was heading back home from the Middle East. Right? Yeah.
Either or. Yeah. I just let him know that's
no, he would have been on approach and when it
at that point
went down. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just let him know it's like this is the time that we got there. This is the time of the. I let him know it's like time of the explosion, time I was at the gate.
Okay.
And then like it was like it took us like 3 minutes from the gate to get to the.
Okay.
To the site of the explosion.
Ask him if his security forces on the other side caught anything.
Did any of
he said there were guys watching outside of the perimeter. Like he said that there was another surveillance team that we were made aware of.
That was I thought it was the House Guard and then local police and then military. I thought that was all that was being involved.
Right.
No other. We were the only private security.
Right, but there were, because he specifically mentioned that there were people watching outside that we would have to we were made aware of, so that we knew that we had to tell them to come in a different direction because there was people watching from the other way.
I think the guys at the gate. Utopia told you there were guys at the gate that were watching the area. They had it all on camera, and they did when he came in. They have cameras that were all twitching and going crazy, and that's where they watched the house from. So they're not in the living space and all that.
Right.
And so that's who you guys were. They were spoofing. They wouldn't notice that it had been cut out and looped for a second or two, and then.
Were they in any kind of position to see the east side of the house where the drone came from? Did they notice it flying in at all?
No.
Okay.
There's no video of what happened at all.
Right. Okay.
Because right about that time is when Chrome Samurai cut everything when he flew out.
Right.
No,
well, he would have been flying.
That's when I was flying back in.
Yeah. No, I just didn't know if they could see anything visually, if they noticed anything.
We'll have to see if Chrome Samurai went through and pulled it.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
Yeah, let him know. It's like we've been told to wait at our hotel for the next 24 hours. Right. After that 20, so I tell him it's like, so as of 10:42 tomorrow morning, are we clear to leave, or do we need to stay further?
Yeah, we'll probably have to put a tracker or keep a tab on where you're at in case there's any questions or anything. But they'll probably contact us to contact you.
All right. You have my number.
Did it? He asked questions like, what was going on? Was anything stolen? Did you guys see anybody or anything like that? So,
I didn't see anybody when I arrived on the scene. There was a significant delay of getting through the gate because they all had to double check codes and everything like that.
That's understandable, he says.
And then by the time we got there, it was just wreckage. I mean, just because of how far out I had to be from the scene, I was probably there. It took me about 30 minutes to get on scene.
Okay.
Fun little fact for you to use when pushing a bill to get us more involved with police security matters.
We're trying. It's difficult.
I know. This is why I'm giving you these times. Had I been allowed on the premises, you saw it. It only took me 3 minutes to get from. I was there before they were.
Yeah. We'll use this incident as proof for future incursions or situations. The original idea was that no one was supposed to know you were there watching the place at all. This was kind of our personal project.
In an ideal world, yes, but when an entire house blows up, when a prime minister's house explodes.
Right. All right. Well, I think that's it for now. We'll let you know if we find anything or hear anything. other than that, just stay put for a little bit.
Okay. I'll probably schedule a flight sometime after the 24 hours, and I'll let you know flight number and all those plans.
Okay. And after the...
And then, of course, I mean, we're in contact.
24 hours is up, then we'll cease paying for the job. So it was $600 a day you guys had.
Yeah, something like that.
Which, any other time, that'd be awesome. But
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll call it there. And anything you guys want... Oh, experience points. Did we do experience points last time?
We did.
Yes, we did.
I think it was like 10 totals that we ended up handing out.
Okay.
10. I wrote them down individually, so I had to count them each. But yes, it totals to 10.
Experience points, 123.
And I was dropping 8 on Cypher to get
That's
that
right. So he will be doing that in the time being. All right. Automatic 1 point. Discovery. Understanding something new and significant about himself. Fellow Novas of the universe. Yeah, I retake 1. Exceptional roleplay. Yeah, you guys both take 1. Heroism. Risk life and limb to save the day.
Wasn't given the option.
Yeah. Wisdom. Discovered a way out of a trap or learned the truth behind a mystery. The group often deduces solutions together. Anybody really think you figured anything out?
No, we definitely didn't figure it. It's one of those like, I did provide a pretty good distraction to keep the guys blinded,
That's
but
creativity. I think we'll go to that.
Okay, yeah.
So take the point for that. Beth, anything creative?
Didn't really
Add stories
get
and
to
enjoyment
do
without
much.
detracting
No.
from the game. Includes not little too well-developed backgrounds, character journals, introductions, new story elements. Cohesion. Worked exceptionally well together, defeating their opponents or strategically investigating all avenues of information.
I went complete wild card on that one.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
no. All right, so that's it.
So just the 4.
Yeah. We'll call it there for a night, and we'll pop back in. Any closing words or thoughts or anything from anybody?
I still very much like this.
No.
It's tons of fun.
It's an interesting world. I've been reading more of the fluff in the beginning of the book, and it's stuff. There's a lot of stuff I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it about 50 pages into the fluff, and then I realized that there were 50 more pages of fluff, and it was like, holy shit.
It's
I mean,
a lot.
it's nice because it gives you a better picture of
Right.
the world.
And the way it's
But-
written, it was written. I think it released it in 2001. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're surfing the net. So it doesn't have to be read in order or anything like
That's
that.
the nice thing. It's all in little bite-sized
Oh,
chunks,
yeah.
and it just builds on itself.
And it definitely I was able to get through everything while I was recovering, and it very much read. Do you remember how technology and everything was working in the original 90s X-Men cartoon?
Yes.
It strikes me as like we're actively playing and living in that time.
Right. Right.
Which is really fun in my opinion. I'm really digging this setting and so far and how everything
Yeah.
works.
It's a rich setting.
Yeah.
Powers and everything are nice. They just kickstarted the second edition Aberrant, so that will probably be out in another year or so. But I don't know what they're changing on. I haven't seen anything
Right,
like that.
and sometimes the newer editions are not.
Right.
If we know anything about White Wolf, no, they're not.
Yeah.
They don't hit sometimes. Sometimes they do. So this, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it technology-wise or anything. Because that's the one thing this setting is missing sorely is advanced tech.
It did, yeah.
And it might be in other books I haven't gotten to.
Well, also there's we made so many technological advancements that we actually ended up putting so many laws in place that it ended up restricting a whole lot of it. So there's a whole lot of technological advancement stuff that I was reading through the fluff. It's like, oh yeah, we totally went this way. And it's like, well, we would have had we not accidentally gone this way first and these laws got put in place.
Yeah.
So I guess accidentally is the wrong term, but it's like, oh, you were written by wishful thinkers and not and not conservative old money that's in power.
Right. That and they're guessing at what the internet was going to be in 8 years was just impossible to do. But they did a decent job for what they did. So
Yeah, I mean, like you had let's see, because if it was in 2001. Yeah, so they didn't know about Facebook. They didn't know about YouTube. They didn't know about Twitch. They didn't know Netflix.
yeah.
Blockbuster was still a thing.
Netflix
Right,
was still
streaming,
nailing out
right.
DVDs.
Netflix is
stuff
more
like that.
DVD than anything else.
Yeah. So social media and streaming alone.
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Didn't impact, yeah.
And then just in terms of money, you now have the chip readers and everything. So
Yeah.
it's all like the wave of your phone.
Yeah.
All getting done. Because that was starting to get done in 2008. It
Right.
was very shitty technology.
Right.
But if you think of the advancements that they've made in the book,
Yeah.
by comparison, in 2008, we'd have, the Google Watch
Oh, yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's,
iPhones didn't exist yet.
it's one of those, I kind of feel like we can use 2019 through 2020, stuff, but it's one of those, like, clear it with you ahead of time.
Right.
Because, like,
Yeah. We could probably jump it forward a couple years in technology, like to 2010 technology for this setting would probably all fit some of it. So
yeah. That's what I was like. It all seemed to be going like 5 to 10 years
Right.
quicker because of super
Right.
intelligences and
Right.
things like that. But
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it unfolds.
I mean, the actual smartphone is out in 2008. So
Yeah.
Right. iPhone was released in 2007.
we do have iPhones.
Yes.
I have the new iPhone 2.
Right.
I still have an iPod, but that's fine.
Right. Yeah, that won't disappear for a while.
No,
So.
no. They're actually still getting bigger
Yeah.
before they started getting smaller.
Before
and
they
then
realized-
disappeared.
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll wrap it there
Also the
then.
Nook.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time.
All right.
All right.